Hey, what's up YouTube? It's abluegolfball here today with another Pokemon TCG online video, and today I have another Eeveelution deck for you guys. This one was highly requested. This is going to be an Excadrill Eeveelution deck. Excadrill here is the 110 HP Metal type Pokemon from Primal Clash, and it's got the ancient trait Barrage here. It's got this Pokemon may attack twice a turn. If the first attack knocks out your opponent's active Pokemon, you may attack again after your opponent chooses a new active Pokemon. And so Excadrill here, does the first attack Dredge, which is pretty good for just a colorless. Search your deck for 2 energy cards and attach them to this Pokemon and shuffle your deck afterwards. And then also Mach Claw. This attack's damage isn't affected by resistance, and that's pretty cool there as well. It does have a 3 retreat cost. It is has psychic resistance, but is weak to fire. Hopefully we don't run into any fire decks. But yeah, we're going to be playing a 4-4 line of these guys, and then we're going to have 2 Shaman EXs with Setup and Sky Return. Shaman's weak to lightning, so that's something to watch out for, but we do have fighting resistance. That's kind of nice. Maybe we can use that to stall a turn or so for fighting Pokemon, but Setup is going to be the focus here for having this card in the deck, being able to play it from our hand onto our bench and draw 6 cards into our hand. We have here 4 Eevees with the Energy Evolution here. When you attach a basic energy card from your hand to this Pokemon, you may search your deck for a card that evolves from this Pokemon, but we're not going to be, why am I even talking about this? We don't have any basic energies that Eevee can Energy Evolution anyways. We have here 2 Jolteons, 2 Flareons, and then 1 Vaporeon in scenarios for Pokemon, if we play against fire Pokemon that are weak to water. But for Jolteon here, right, electric effect, same thing with the flare effect and aqua effect. Each of your stage 1 Pokemon plays now also a lightning, or, if it's a Flareon, it's a fire, Vaporeon, it's a water Pokemon, in addition to its existing types. Meaning, if we're playing, the Excadrill to stage 1, and we have a Flareon out there, so it's also a metal type and a fire type. That's kind of cool. That way we can hit for weakness. And the nice thing about Mach Claw is that it doesn't, hit for resistance. So, well, I don't know. There's not a lot of things that resist metal besides, from what I remember, electric Pokemon like Pikachu and Raichu. But, yeah. So, for the item cards and whatnot, we have 2 level balls right here. We have also the Professor's Letter, Sacred Ash, one of these, and Switch. I gotta have a couple of these because, again, Excadrill is pretty heavy. We have the Ultra Ball here. You gotta play this for the Excadrill and also for Shaman EX. Works pretty well that way. We have the VS Seeker. You gotta have, what is it? We got 3 of these, 3 VS Seekers, 2 Lysanders, 3 Professor Birch's Observations, 3 Sycamore here, 2 Shaunas, and 1 Teammates. That's it for the support line. We have Shelter here, Steel Shelter for, since we're playing metal Pokemon. Well, Excadrill is really the only metal Pokemon. I thought I'd just throw in Steel Shelter. Definitely you could use something like Training Center. Training Center can work pretty well, but I think Special Conditions is pretty crucial, especially when things like Irados is in existence. And of course, we're not playing in the expanded format, but if we were, the Hypnotoxic Laser. We have 3 of these muscle bands, as well as the special shield energies here. We also have the regular energies. Gotta have 9 of these, so pretty heavy in the energies. But trust me, these shield energies definitely come in handy, and it's pretty sweet. So I opted to play the muscle band over the hard charm. I thought defense could be pretty cool, but with muscle band, I think it just adds a little bit more power. And with the this weakness here, with the muscle band, you'd be able to hit for 70 times 2 would be 140, and that way, if you're playing up against like megas that are like 240 HP, for example, if you're playing against I don't know, any mega, right? You can hit for one, let's say like Mega Rayquaza, or it's 220 HP. If you're only doing Mach Claw for 50 plus the weakness, it's only hitting for 100, and so that means you're gonna, even if you hit twice, that Mega Rayquaza will still survive with 20 HP. So I think the muscle band does this, is kind of a deserving. It's well deserving in here in those kind of scenarios. So. Anyways, that's it for the deck. Let's go ahead and see this deck in action on Pokemon TCG Online. Alright, and it looks like we're going to be playing against Rose Go HP. And I used to be an HP fan. I had an HP Envy back in the day. I'm pretty sure that's not what her name's talking about. But here we go. Wow, my opponent does have some pretty cool sleeves right there. We see my opponent also playing with the water coin. And looks like opponent will be going first. It is your opponent's turn. We're going to start off with a pretty decent hand here. We got an Eevee, we got the Shaman EX. We're going to go ahead, of course, start with the Eevee right now. We got Level Ball, which we can go ahead and try to get things going right there. Ooh, we see Kyurem. Lucky for us, it's weak against Metal, so is the Articuno. So this is looking pretty favorable for us. It's got out that Drill Burr right here. We can't play the Energy just yet, but we can still play the Muscle Band. Let's play the Shaman, drawn on 3 more cards. We got a Steel Shelter, we got a Switch. I think what I want to do is I could probably just play that right now. Let's go for the Birch, and yes, we flip heads, and we get another Drill Burr. This is great. All right, and we even get an Energy. Good, so we don't miss out on these Energy drops, and we're looking pretty good. We even have a Switch here. Doesn't matter. We have the Jolteon, which we can get for the free retreat. And then we can probably go and just use the Professor Birch's observation, and we're looking really good. Now, my opponent can do a Chilling Sigh, but we do have Steel Shelter in play, meaning once we can evolve into the Excadrill, that wouldn't matter if my opponent puts us to sleep, and we should be able to bypass that. We do see the Regice over there and also the Kyurem EX. Here it is, my opponent bringing out these, using Lysander to bring out the Drill Burr already, and we can... if we can't evolve, maybe we can go for a Fury Swipes, huh? What do you guys think? No? I'm just kidding. Okay. Oh, excuse me. Yeah, here is the Excadrill. Let's go ahead and play this Energy down in there, and we do flip Tails. That's okay. We get another Excadrill. That's great. Let's go for the Dredge right here, and just might as well. We're going to get 1 Shield Energy. We don't need to play 2 of them, and we'll save the other 2 for later. So here it is. We hit for 140. Got that weakness, and we got the Muscle Band there. So we knock it out 1 shot for the weakness. That is great. Regice and Kyurem EX are both weak to Metal, so we are on our merry way. And I'm assuming my opponent's gonna bring out the Regice. Yep, I kind of figured. Now my opponent can still start powering up the Kyurem EX, and that could be pretty scary. Can definitely one-shot us. And no, that's it. My opponent concedes the match, and that is it for the game. Pretty solid warm-up right there. I suppose nothing against my opponent. And look at that, we get a little bonus right there as well. And all right, we got 37 seconds of game time for us. But you know, hey, we were able to set up fairly quick. I think my opponent definitely had a huge disadvantage because of the weakness. But, I mean, there's some pretty good chemistry and consistency here. I'm going to go ahead and play another match here on Pokemon TCG Online to see Excadrill's full potential. So, all right, here we go. Okay, and we are playing against that's an A, Druniak. All right. Well, my opponent is sporting the Pikachu sleeves, as well as we see a Pikachu coin. So there's a little bit of a Pikachu theme here. My opponent also has blonde hair, so that's kind of nice. Nothing against blondes or anything like that, but right here, okay, we end up mulling again, but we do start off with the Drill Burr. We got Vaporeon. That's not much use here. I wasn't really paying attention to what my opponent was playing, so I don't know exactly what I need to hit for weakness at this point, but we'll find out right here. And it's the Dene. Okay. Well, I guess we can still use Drill Burr and hit for Fury Swipes, huh? Can you imagine flipping 3 heads with a Muscle Band? That'll be a knockout on that little Dene. Not gonna happen though. Let's go ahead. We're gonna play the Eevee, and might as well play for the Fury Swipes. This might come in handy. We hit for 20. That's perfect. My opponent does have the Metal Resistance, but we don't hit for resistance anyways. Still, this could work very well. If we don't get a Muscle Band, we can still hit the Dene here for a perfect knockout. Now, my opponent can probably go for Entrapment right now, draw some more things. We could get hit for an Energy Sword. That would be 20 damage on us. Here is a Lugia EX with Eero Ball, and Lugia EX could be a pretty good threat, but if we can get the Jolteon out here, my opponent will not have the advantage right there of the Lugia because of the type weakness. So, in the next turn, we do have an Excadrill here, which we can potentially knock out the Dene. Ooh, my opponent's going to bring up the Lugia. Oh, never mind. The Lugia comes back anyways. I thought my opponent may not want to play the Lugia EX because of the weakness if my opponent knew that I have Jolteon in this deck. And, of course, my opponent can see that there's an Eevee on my bench ready to be evolved in a moment's notice. But I guess that didn't really bother my opponent. And my opponent, this person, went for to play Lugia EX anyways. We see the Professor Birch's observation that ended up flipping tails, and thank goodness if my opponent got heads right there, who knows what could have happened next. And that's it. We just get hit for the Entrapment, looks like. And let's see what my opponent plays. We could see maybe another Lugia EX. We could see maybe an Yveltal EX. I'm not entirely sure. What I do know for sure is we'll evolve, and we're going to get rid of this Dene. Oh, wow, we see a Rayquaza and a Regigigas. So that Regigigas could be a problem. But for now, we have a Lysander in hand, but we're not going to be using that. Let's go ahead. We're just going to evolve here. Let's go for the Professor Birch's observation. Flipping heads. Thank goodness. We get a Flareon. I don't need a Flareon. I want to get the Jolteon. Let's just get the Jolteon for now. I could get another Drillbur, but I figured, let's go ahead. We'll get the Jolteon. I don't exactly need to play the Flareon. And, ooh, someone sent me a private. Okay. We could play the energy, maybe on this Eevee. No need to energy accelerate. In case if we need to retreat, we can probably play the Flareon if we need to. I don't know exactly what my opponent's playing, but let's go ahead and get these two shield energies on here. Let's go for the Mach Claw, hit for 50, knocking out that Dedenne, so that 20 damage worked out in the end. And look at that, we do get another Jolteon right now, which will evolve the Eevee. So I regret playing the energy on the Eevee on the bench. That wasn't really necessary anymore. Since Jolteon has the free retreat, so that was kind of a wasted energy card right there, and major no-no, don't do that. We see my opponent does flip heads this time around, and the Lugia EX may be able to knock us out, but because we have the two shield energies, very likely we'll be able to survive the turn. We're going to get hit for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 120, minus 20. We're going to survive with 10 HP. This is too good to be true. All we need now is the Muscle Band. We should be able to hit for a ton of damage. But we don't get the Muscle Band, and we don't get another Drillbur. Oh, man, that is awful. But if we knock out this Lugia EX here, we should be able to buy ourselves another turn. So we can hit for 100 and hit for another 100. That is great. We didn't even need the Muscle Band. I mean, the Muscle Band would have been able to hit for 140 twice, but that's not going to be necessary unless my opponent had, 220 HP. Something like that, or even 210 HP on the Lugia EX. We wouldn't have been able to knock it out the way we just did. Here is a Tornadus, also weak to lightning. So we see a Rayquaza over there. We can go ahead and just drag that Rayquaza out if we really need to. And that's it. My opponent passes the turn. Now, I really, really need to get another Drillbur going. I could go for the Professor Birch's observation, but that's too risky. I'm going to go for the Shauna instead. We do get another Drillbur, and this is good news. We have a teammates in hand. If my opponent does knock out our Excadrill, we should be able to respond and get another Excadrill going. Plus, we have the two Jolteons, so my opponent Lysander's one of them out. At least we got one more that we can fall back on. Plus, the Jolteons here have free retreat, so we can kind of hang our hats on that. Oh my goodness, here's an energy drop. We can see a Daunt. We're gonna get hit for, what is that, 60 right there, and then it's reduced by 40, but that's the defending Pokemon, so the Excadrill that got knocked out won't be getting attacks reduced. So what we'll do here is we need a basic energy, and we need the Excadrill. So here's the basic energy, here's the Excadrill, and we got that going for us right here. We can probably play down this energy here. And, we probably could have gone with a Muscle Band and then play the Shield Energy on Excadrill, but I want to save these Shield Energies on, I don't know. I feel more comfortable maybe not playing the Shield Energies either, in case if my opponent does play Enhanced Hammers and things like that. We've already lost 2 Shield Energies. So, all right, let's go ahead. We're going to retreat. Let's go for the Dredge right here. I probably could have gone with the Muscle Band instead of the basic energy. But see here, you guys take notice of this. I'm going to be playing with only all basics. I'm going to preserve the 2 shield energies and go this route. So the 2 shield energies, I want to invest on another Excadrill later on. I think that might be a worthy experiment, you can say. A worthy route that we can take to try to see if we can pull it off. Now, my opponent will be able to hit us for 60 again with another Daunt, but again, lucky for us, we were able to hit him for the full 50. We see him a Manectric EX over there, even with a Spirit Link there as well. As of right now, I think my opponent's not going to be investing too much on the Regigigas. We get hit for another 80, and that's about it. Now, we do get the Muscle Band here, which can potentially help, but what we really need right now is we absolutely need to get another Drillbur. I could definitely Lysander. I could use VS Seeker, Lysander. Do I even have Lysander in the discard pile? I don't think I do, but here we go. Let's go for the Shauna, and we're going to go with this instead. Okay, here it is. Okay, so we do get a Lysander right there, and we'll also have a Professor Birch's observation. I could definitely play Steel Shelter, but I don't think I need it anymore. I don't think my opponent really plays any special conditions kind of things. Let's just get rid of this. I'm going to play for the Shaman, draw in some more cards. We're going to keep the Professor Birch's observation available to us. We get a Sacred Ash. That's kind of nice. We can bring back these Pokemon right here. We really need to get another Drillbur. That's what we need to do. Let's go ahead. And we do. We get them. So here it is. We even get a Shield Energy. we should be all set and ready to go. Let's hit for 10, and we'll hit for 10 again. Now, this is going to be a little devastating here. He's still got 60 HP left, but this Excadrill will go down, and what we really need off of the Professor Birch's observation is a, what do you call it? We need an Excadrill. And so we can go ahead and use Mach Claw. Now, again, we do have a Lysander. Ideally, what I'd really like to do is just Lysander out that Rayquaza EX, knock it out since it's weak to Lightning. So we're going to... I want to see if we can finish that way. That's really what we want to do. Now, we missed that opportunity a couple times because we needed to get another Drillbur on the bench. And, we got a VS Seeker, which we can go for. Let's go for the Shauna. I feel a little more safe. It's a little bit more concrete. And we get the Excadrill. We can retreat to that Excadrill and go for a Mach Cut. We're going to be a little bit short, but that's okay. We got 2 Lysanders in hand. We can go ahead and Lysander out the Rayquaza. So let's go ahead. This is where we want to invest the shield energies, so we can be a little bit safer on defense, protect us a little bit more. And I think this is what we want to do. So my opponent right now can retreat if he really wanted to, or switch into the Mega Manectric, and that Mega Manectric won't be able to knock us out. Oh my goodness, there's 4 energies right here. We can see a heavy impact. But I think my opponent's going to be retreating here. And we do. We see the retreat. My opponent burned 4 energies to get that retreat done. Here's the Mega Manectric EX. It's going to hit us for only 90 damage because of the 2 shield energies. We will survive the turn. Thank goodness we didn't burn him earlier on the other Excadrill. This really pulled through for us. And for sure, I think right now we just easily go ahead. We'll just Lysander out this Rayquaza EX. Let's go for the Mach Claw. Hit for 100. Hit for another 100. That is GG. We got this in the bag here, guys. And of course, my opponent did take 2 prize cards. So it wasn't a clean sweep, but still. I mean, hey, it was a fun game. I enjoyed it. That was pretty good. That was not so bad. Hitting for weakness is what we got to aim for, and thank goodness we were able to hit for weakness right there with the lightning weakness on those Rayquazas and the Tornadoes and stuff like that. So this is pretty good. I feel like, definitely a good alternative to these kind of Eeveelution decks. Excadrill is certainly a fun deck. Plus, there are Pokemon out there that are weak to metal, which we saw with the Kyurem EX and stuff like that, Regice and Articuno. But yeah, all right. Well, that's it for the video. Hope you guys liked the video. If you guys do, give it a thumbs up, and you guys take care. Have a wonderful day. I'll see you guys later. Goodbye.